Good morning. Today is the 10th of September 2024 and I'm going to go through my trading plan for today. Before we start, let's take a look and see what news could move the market. And I've got my old charts, so it takes ages to load. So today's Tuesday and nothing really. Crude oil aftermarket, so nothing. Tomorrow we've got core inflation rate, CPI, so a bit of things to be moving the market tomorrow, but let's deal with today. Let's just find my layout. For some reason my trading view, a load layout, new layout. Is it that one? Nope, that's my thumbnails. I don't know why it lost my daily futures stock. Is it that one? Nope. You know, you don't play around with anything. There's swing trading pre-market. I'm sure it's that one, but it's loaded up the strange. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. Oh no. That's why I look at all the sectors. Okay, let's just stick with this for now. 1 hour. 1 hour. Let's do one chart. Save. That's what I really use. Okay, so we're looking at the 1 hour time frame, and this is the S&P mini futures. I'll leave my pen as well. So we're kind of seeing a bit of an inverse, you could call it an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Neckline is a bit lopsided, kind of this trend line, but we've broken the downtrend now, which is important, and we came back and we retested that trend line after we broke it. And I do quite like the break and retest over pre-market high, this area here, and we've got a bit of movement until we get up to that region there. So let's just go back to the lines so we can watch this area here, and I quite like the breakout of this area here for 5500 break and retest is my first area I'm watching. Yesterday we came in, we got close to it, rejected big area of confluence here, and obviously this has added to it as well. Let's just zoom left a bit. Tops of pivots, a bit of consolidation. So yeah, it's a strong area, and I quite like the break and retest of this area here. So 5500 is my first level I'm watching for today. If we pull all the way back down to the pre-market low area, or even yesterday's low area, it could be a retest of the trend line again, and I'll be looking for a bounce. If we lose yesterday's low, then I'll be looking for a break and retest short. So that'll be coming into this this area here for the double bottom. And we've got a bounce area around this zone here. 5400 is a bounce area, so that's my other play I'm watching. So let's just mark it up. Watching that area for the bounce. Let's get rid of these. That's another bounce area. Yesterday's low. You can watch pre-market low for a bounce as well. We've got pivots there, pivots there, pivots here. So there's an area of confluence. A little bit of volume coming in that area as well. So 54. Let's watch that area as well. So we've got 54.42 for a bounce, 54.62 for a bounce, and 54.02 for a bounce. Rejections. We are still in an hourly downtrend, so we've broken that pivot. I'm going to watch break and retest a pre-market low if we don't hold it as well, and potentially yesterday's high as well. Monday's high, break and retest short as well. So got a few options. If we see a big day, and then we've got this rejection point here at 555.34.50, and then we've got this region up here as well. It's a big area. We've got the 50 moving average. We've got tops of these pivots, bottoms of these pivots. Let's see what else we've got. More pivots over here. You know, breakdown, a bounce area, rejection area. So yeah, it's a strong area as well to watch. So these are the areas I'm watching basically. Okay, looking at SPY next. I'll come back to ES. We'll look at the order flow just before we leave. SPY is exactly the same. We've got this rejection point. I quite like 555 still for the rejection. This region here, we've got the 200 moving average curving round into it as well. So if we push up into this region, I'll be looking for a rejection there. Break and retest off this region, pre-market high, long. We can also watch for a short. We are closing now on the hourly above the 50 moving average. Just one thing to note as well, the low volume yesterday. So we didn't really go anywhere, went sideways, but we had low volume. So just keep an eye on that. And then we can watch this point of control area down here. So 540, 541 for a bounce as well. So they're the three areas I'm watching on SPY. But I'll mainly be using ES for my longs or shorts. SPX. Kind of we're near the highs of yesterday, so we'll probably be opening up around this area. So it's a rejection area, double top. So let's see what happens in where SPX break opens above it. If it opens above it, then we can watch yesterday's high for rejection. I like that area as well. It's a big area of confidence. A big pivot up here, a massive reaction down. We broke it, came back down, retested it, broke through, kind of hovered, retested a few times, and we retested it on Friday. So I'm watching this area for the rejection. So that's 55.25. Break and retest of 54.86. Keep an eye on 5,500. That's a psychological round number. And then we can watch this area down here for the bounce between 54.07 to 54.25. NQ. Let's take a look at NQ. I'm going to move this pivot point here to that area there, because that's when we had our last reaction. So I quite like the rejection here at 18,945 to 18,950. We've got this major area here where we were consolidation, a pivot, tops of pivots here, and tops of candles, bottom of this pivot, and then we created two more pivots up here. So I quite like 19,166 to 19,200 for the rejection. And then bounces back down here at 18,500, psychological number. What was that yesterday? I missed that. It came right down into that number and bounced it, so we can watch that area again. I'll keep an eye on that. QQQ. So yesterday's low, 450 for a bounce, psychological number. We can also watch down here at 447, 448 area. Let's just reset this one to around about there. It's a better place. So where we are right now, break and read. If we retest this area, yesterday's high, break a pre-market high, and then we've got this area here to watch for a potential rejection, 461. And obviously we get up into this region, same as Nasdaq, 468. We can watch that for rejection. Next up is crude oil. I do like this. It's a nice, it looks like it could be a reversal pattern here. We just need to break over yesterday's high, so I like the long of yesterday's high into this region, 70. So break and retest of 69. You can see we held it a few times here, volume up there as well, so that's a good area for a target. And we can also watch out for the break and retest long into the 200. And then I quite like this bounce area down here as well. So we can watch break and retest off, I'll say yesterday's high, but pre-market high is a bit more riskier because we've got potential resistance above. So break and retest of 68.95, 67, a bounce down at 67.50, and a rejection at 70. Nice easy levels for that one. This is the gold. It's broken out of this area here. It's looking still bullish, potentially an inverse head and shoulders. We've got, depends how you want to see it, could say left shoulder, head, right shoulder, Oh, right shoulder. We could also say left shoulder there, right at the head and the right shoulder. So I do quite like the break and retest of pre-market high. We need to get over this point of control because that's where all the volume is at 25.50. So over this region here for the break and retest long into all-time highs, which is about there. I do quite like that. And if it comes back down into this region, I quite like the bounce, testing of the trend line down at 2500 psychological number. Been down there once, twice, 3 times. Whether we could do it a 4th time, I'm not sure. RTY, this is the Russell 2000. Broken the trend, sold off. So big head and shoulders pattern, break and retest of it, of the neckline. So I like the break and retest of pre-market low, looking weaker than SPY and NASDAQ. So break and retest of this level, which is 2094 to 2090. And then the rejection of yesterday's high for the double top. And I'm not a big fan on longs unless we can get over this region here. And of course we still need to close above the 50 moving average. We're holding it. So break and retest a pre-market low. Rejection up here, but could watch the break and retest a pre-market high into that region. That's a scalp. And then maybe a break and retest of yesterday's high into this region as well, and that's our rejection area. YM. This is a nice pattern. Broken the trend line yesterday, came back, retested it, came close to retesting, but we had this level we was watching. This is the inverse head and shoulders pattern, and I do quite like the break and retest of yesterday's high. That's the neckline, but only if we break and retest and close above the 200. So if the 200 moves down into this region, then it'll be a much stronger move. So 41,000, 40,000, 41,100, break and retest long. Let's just mark that up. Put my alert up there as well, because I want to see what happens when we get there. And that's it really. I think like the long based on that inverse button. And then rejections. The only rejection is this area up here, area confluence. Bottoms of candles, tops of candles, 41, 200, 41, 230. Finally Bitcoin, let's take a look on the daily, see where we are. Still holding this pattern. I missed an ad, I was hoping to add there. This is my ad from a few days ago. I was hoping it would come back down for double bottom, which I'm still hoping around 50 is what I'm aiming for. And then I want to add when we get up. Let's just put an alert in. I really want to get down into this region really. So that's my alert for an ad. As it breaking the trend line. It's trying to break that trend line there. We've got this steeper trend line there. And let's see what happens. We're below the 50, so it's still looking bearish. If you would take into the most recent days, this is the last month, last 2 months. But in the general scheme on the monthly, it's looking bullish. Nothing for me here. You've got a rejection point here at 58,800, so potentially a day trade rejection. But nothing until we get above these pivots. Let's go back to ES, look at the order flow. On my screen now you can see order flow. What do we see? So you see a nice run up on the 10 range, the 10 tick chart. Lots of big potential limit orders sitting up in this region. You can see that big orders. Cumulative delta. So that's the 2-minute candlestick chart, which is putting a series high highs and high lows. This is doing exactly the same. Big push there, big push there. So nothing unusual really. If we look at the 30-minute filtered. You can see where all the volume is at the moment up in this region, or previous volume. And green deltas. Interesting to see all this negative delta, even though we had green bars. So that's a bit of an anomaly this morning. So that means there's aggressive sellers in these bars, even though the price was rising. So the sellers, the buyers could be absorbed by the sellers. And then 5-minute chart. You can see all this aggressive buying here at 8.45. Big buying imbalances. So it's looking very bullish. What happened at 8.45? Was there any news at 8.45? No. Oh, 8.55. No, nothing really. I'm not sure where, but anyway, we've got a lot of aggressive buying going in up in this region. So somebody's trying to hold it up, but there's been no follow through recently. So let's just keep an eye on that. Zoom out, see where the big orders are. We've got a big order at 55.10. Was that one of our levels? 55.10, 5500 psychological. Let's keep an eye on 55.10 because that is an area of confluence as well. So I'll put that on, I'll mark that up as well. I've got 15 for that region. We know that because that's a thick bar. And if you go onto here, there's 484. There's not a massive amount, but there's orders waiting at 55.10. Sell limit orders. Okay, nothing exciting going on. Price, the delta is rising. You could, in fact, this is a little bit of a divergence. So we've got a rise in price, a rise in cumulative delta, but the price is kind of sideways, slightly down. So potential reversal, but not enough for me. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be back tomorrow. I'm away for a week next week, so I'm going to try and keep the live stream going, which is the Orderflow. I'm not sure how reliable because it depends on how good my internet is. But I'll be here until Monday and I'll still go through my levels. Okay, thank you.